You know,
here is Sean Hannity and Fox and Friends really backing off one of the principles, it seems to me, of the Second Amendment. Like, I never thought I would see the day where these people would attack people who are just supporting their right to carry long arms and get all buffed up in Kevlar to go to a protest about something that has nothing to do with guns. This is really rhinos. Let's see these guys.
As we've been talking about the states reopening in some parts of the country, and some are at stage 1 and some are at stage 2, some of the most restrictive stay-at-home orders have been in the state of Michigan. And last week we heard from Governor Whitmer.
Is there anybody else who's worried about Kilmeade? Because every clip that we play of Brian Kilmeade, he looks like he's like, I don't know, like the seat that he's sitting on is uncomfortable, or maybe it's like super hot where he is. Like, he just
doesn't he always look like that?
He seems like under duress, and I don't know what's going on.
Doesn't he always seem like that though?
Maybe he's just mad because it really does feel like Ducey is like taking over the show.
Kilmeade always looks extremely touchy to me. Very irritable.
Let's play.
And she said at one of those protests, she said there were swastikas and Confederate flags and nooses and people with assault rifles. That's what she said. Well, Sean Hannity has been talking on his program about how he completely, as we all do, support people's First Amendment rights. But then again, when people go to a protest with a big gun like that, it puts our police in danger and so much more. Here's Sean Hannity from Monday night. Listen to this.
No one is a bigger defender of the Second Amendment than yours truly. Everyone has the right to protest, protect themselves, and try to get the country open. This, with the militia look here and these long guns, no. Show of force is dangerous. That puts our police at risk. And by the way, your message will never be heard, whoever you people are. No one should be attempting to intimidate officials with a show of force. And God forbid something happens, then they're going to go after all of us law-abiding Second Amendment people.
You know, Brian, I think the average person watching the protests in Michigan is going, you know, I support the people's rights to assemble and to protest and to carry guns. But at the same time, why did they have to bring the big gun to that particular protest? So Sean's got a point, many feel. What do you think? Email us, friends@foxnews.com. All right, Brian.
Yeah, no question he's got to feel. If you're going to show up with a Confederate flag or SWAT stickers, I didn't see any of that video, but it just squelches your message. Socially distance, show up and let your voices be heard. You had a great case in Michigan. That's been a very aggressive governor that's supplanting and ignoring state legislature and her citizens in trying to be so-called safe. Meanwhile, it's...
You know what I find fascinating about this?
Wow.
You know what I find fascinating about this, and aside from the fact that Hannity, who just talked about the guns, not the swastikas and whatnot, but all of them, you don't want to show up with the swastikas and the Confederate flags and the guns because that hurts your message. What about just taking a moment and saying, hey, who are these people that would show up with swastikas and guns and Confederate flags? Like, it's not like, hey, what should we bring to the protest? All I've got lying around is this swastika flag. Well, I wish we had a flag that said open up, but as long as it's a flag, you might as well just
flag's a flag. So, but wait, the only reason that they're doing this, though, right, is because if Obama was president, they would ignore the SWAT. They would say the SWAT stickers and the Confederate flags are fake news, or the SWAT stickers are fake news. Confederate flags are states' rights. And then they would defend people showing up with this type of artillery.
People showed up at the anti-healthcare, at the anti-Obamacare rallies with guns.
With guns. They already did this. So they're doing this because it must be that we don't want things to look too crazy for Trump's reelection, and we don't want things to look out of control. So your message, so what they're doing and why they're doing it so gingerly is they're actually messaging to the people who watch their channel who are going to these things and saying, hey guys, don't be a lunatic.
Hey, white supremacists.
Yes.
Hey, neo-Nazis.
Yeah.
Winky, winky. Like, they're not saying like, hey,
Squelch
these
the
rallies were,
message.
they're not saying, they could also say like, look, there were a lot of just, typical Americans there who don't subscribe to Nazism, who don't believe in the Confederacy and don't want to intimidate people with guns. And they just got overrun, so those people who are, they're being, the media is just focusing on them. Instead, they're saying like, look, we realize that everybody who goes to these rallies, for the most part, the majority of them are neo-Nazis or Confederate lovers or gun-toting, freaks who, they're amosexuals. And this is the way that they're going to get off by wearing their Kevlar vests. But you guys got to tone it down. You just got to just look like you're normal. Pretend. It doesn't even occur to them why these things are full of people like this. Unbelievable.